right, we are live and recording. Awesome, and everyone is here. Great. Hi everyone, and welcome to our awesome webinar, Breaking into Cybersecurity, presented by Ironhack today. Today you will hear all about the journey of a few of our cybersecurity alumni who are joining us today, how they started their Czech journey and what they're doing now. But before we do, I just want to briefly explain about how to be part of the conversation, in case you haven't worked with Zoom yet before. So to ask questions about either the bootcamp or to ask questions to our panelists, you can always answer your question, place your questions here in the Q&A, which you can find here below. I will also, in the meantime, just double check if the chat is correctly on. Yeah, now it should be on for everyone. Panelists can, yeah, okay. So the chat is also available for everyone at the moment. And yeah, the chat you can also, of course, use to ask your questions directly if you have any questions about us or the panelists. Please feel free to send them throughout the webinar. We'll either try to address them immediately or we're doing it at the end of the webinar, which we have a dedicated Q&A time for that. Yeah, so in case you haven't heard of Ironhack yet, we are an international tech school offering remote tech bootcamps. Today, we only want to specifically talk about cybersecurity, which is why you're here today. Cybersecurity we offer both in full-time format, which is 9 weeks, and part-time format, which is 24 weeks. If you would like to read a little bit more about what a cybersecurity bootcamp is or what's included, what the modules look like, I will include a syllabus here in the chat. So you can read all about it if you're interested in maybe doing one or have more questions about it to read up on it there. Yeah, I think we're a little bit over 5 now. To kick off the webinar, I also would like to know where everyone is from. So please feel free to add your country, your city, or whatever you're representing here today in the chat. It's always nice to see the different countries that where we are broadcasting from. So please free to join this conversation. Okay, I think I did all my admin for now. Okay, we have some people from Paris, Germany, awesome. Frankfurt, Spain, Manchester, look at that. It's very international today. Awesome. It's time to start. I would like to give the word to our host today, which is Stefano Porcini, and I'm sure he has a great presentation for you today to introduce himself a little bit for today. So Stefano, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen. I have the presentation ready for you here. 1 second. All right. You see that? Yeah. Can you hear me well, everybody? Yeah, perfect. So thank you for being here. Today is going to be about breaking into cybersecurity. I'm here with 2 guests, Neil and Morena. I'm happy they joined. Actually, they will also complement this webinar by sharing their experiences. All right, so this is me. I'm a former software developer. Actually, I worked more than 10 years in the field. I worked as cybersecurity content engineer and instructor at Ironhack and Prime Defense IO. And now I worked as security operation analyst at UNICC, which is the United Nations International Computing Center. I will post the LinkedIn and an email at the end of the session. So if you want to connect with me, you feel free to do that. I'm happy if you do. All right, so our summary for today. Wait, let me do something. I'm gonna stop my video because my screen is lagging because of Windows, of course. Sorry about that. You know, it's always the case with Windows. Anyways, today I will introduce as well Niels and Morena. They will mention a bit of their background, for example, why they got into cybersecurity, what was the motivation behind it, etc. Then a little talk about what the job search journey looked like for us. Yeah, like road to finding a job, like strategies, challenges, struggles, some CV suggestions that in my opinion are good to know. Then key skills and certification. Yeah, that's a big topic actually. We always wonder is it worth getting them, like spending time, money to get certified? We'll get to that, okay? So Morena will also complement this section. She's certified, and I'm pretty sure certification helped her getting a job. So bear with us, okay? Interview process. So yeah, how to prepare for it? How important is actually to prepare for a job interview? So from the moment you get a positive answer back when you apply, is it worth to prepare? Like, how should you prepare? What can you do in order to prepare well? We will share some insights about that. And finally, yeah, like the role of Ironhack Bootcamp. So I will describe in a little bit in detail. So what was a direct and indirect impact in my case from my experience and for my outcome. All right, cool. Like, so panelists, I'm gonna give the word to Morena or Niels first. You guys decide. And turn on my camera.
I see. I got the opportunity to go first. My name is Niels de Bork. I live in the Netherlands together with my wife and my lovely daughter. I studied forensic science here in the Netherlands. Didn't get a job, a lot of competition. So I was picked up as a anti-money laundering analyst, working for a big corporation, big banking institution. It was okay, not my cup of tea. Eventually, Corona hit, wanted to do something else with my career, with my life. Wanted to go into the IT, found Ironhack, did the bootcamp, the 3 months bootcamp full time. Loved every minute of it, especially because you have your cohort, you're learning together, which was one of the things I was missing in my previous job. During my forensic science, I did specialize in the IT side, in the forensic side, the digital forensics, the memory forensics. So that was some of the things I wanted to specialize in, also during the bootcamp. So when there was a module related to forensics, I was always on the big screen telling everyone about it. So that's me in a nutshell.
So I think it's my turn. Hi everyone, I'm Morena. I'm from Italy, but I live in Spain since 19 years today, exactly. So yeah, I'm almost Spanish. I started very young in the IT environment as coder. I started when I was 12 years old with, language programming that I think that nobody knows, but COBOL and Turbo Pascal. And then I started to apply technology in different environments because I like coding, but there was something missing. So I studied web designer and I work as freelance. So I was working as coder and web designer, but every time it was something missing. So what I did, I save a lot of money. And I tried before to understand which field of the cybersecurity would be for me. But I have to say that it's very difficult because cybersecurity is very world word. And so I understand that I need something like structure, like the bootcamp that I did. I'm so grateful to did that. I'm very grateful to my professor, Dauta, that is not here, but it's best. And right now, well, I can disclosure that I got the offer of my life, and I'm going to be the cybersecurity analyst for Oracle. And that's basically me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm actually super glad you're here, guys, because there is a side of my story not everybody might want to hear. because yeah, probably some of you are asking yourself, okay, guys, like if some of you have IT background, how does it look like for us that we don't have IT background? Okay, so not all of us had prior IT knowledge before taking the bootcamp, like 10 years experience in this or like in software engineering, DevOps, whatever field in in IT. So don't stress yourself. It's doable. I know for a fact that people made it just by completing the bootcamp and then keep studying towards cybersecurity certifications, or I don't know, getting involved with extra activities, for example, like Try Hack Me. We will talk about this in some slides. But yeah, just bear with us, and I don't want you to be discouraged, let's say. And as well about questions, feel free to ask any kind of questions at any point in time from now until the end. Morena and Niels can help me with taking a look at them. Perhaps they can answer some of them at the end of it. Otherwise, I will try to address all of your questions, but you can already start to prepare them, okay? Cool. Let's move on. It's lagging again. Damn. So, the job search journey. I know that some of the things I mention here, they might sound like a cliche, but seriously, like, let me get something straight, okay? So we are aiming at getting an entry-level job in cybersecurity. We are not aiming at revolutionizing the IT industry or the cybersecurity industry within the first couple of weeks to get a job, all right? So I get it that some things are cliche, but there is an explanation to them. For example, some of you might think, oh, hard skills are super necessary. I have actually a counter opinion to that. I believe that people or big companies especially might want to invest better in the person you are. They want to see you as an investment of a potential leader, for example. So that's why where communication and other soft skills I will mention in the next slide come first, then hard skills, in my opinion. For hard skills, there are a bunch of tools online. Seriously, like nowadays, 2024, you can find any kind of information anywhere. You can practice in every cybersecurity subject. You can practice with coding. You can practice with anything just by turning on your computer and start Googling some things, okay? So that's why I believe soft skills are well, not way more important, but are more than equally important to hard skills. Okay, but we will get there. So one thing I suggest you for the job search journey is to be fearless towards rejection. And why I'm saying that, maybe you say like, okay, I get it, but it's pretty standard. No, it's not pretty standard. For example, I was faced with feeling, how to say that, underqualified for the majority of the jobs I wanted to apply to. So I was, yes, fearing some sort of rejection, and this fearing the rejection basically would make it possible for me to apply less and less and less to as many jobs I should have applied to. Okay, so I suggest to avoid this, for example. Then again, like, never stop educating yourself. Taking a bootcamp is important. Yes, I suggest you like 100%. Please, if you have the money, go for Ironhack, go for whatever other bootcamp of your choice. But when the bootcamp stops, the actual hard work starts. Okay, because during these 6 months of my bootcamp, I pretty much enjoyed the time. I loved being around with my classmates, working on project. I wasn't feeling stressed about finding a job. When the bootcamp finally was over, I was like, okay, Stefano, what do we do now? I guess it's time to find a job. Where do we start from? So the hardest part starts when you finish the bootcamp in this case, it is exactly the moment you should start finding a path for keep educating yourself, keep studying, keep being involved with cybersecurity activities, let's say. So next, make great use of networking, classmates, instructor. As you can see, Morena is a good example. So Morena is here exactly for that reason. Morena and I were not classmates. So I was Daute's student. So Daute was our lead teacher, Morena as well. And I used to go in Daute's class just to, I don't know, show the students something I knew about, for example, have them getting through their projects, or I don't know, showing some piece of information that I found useful for them. And I did that as I wasn't paid for that. I did that as a passion, I developed a connection with Daute, with my ex-teacher, and he allowed me to do so. I always enjoyed that. We always had a good time. And that's why I'm saying to all of you, try to make great use of networking, okay? So try to get internal referrals. Okay, that was the point I wanted to get. I'm going to share a couple of metrics when it comes to my own experience. I think I sent out 30 to 40 curriculums to companies. I got 0% positive feedback, like zero, not one, not two, not three, like zero. You know, none of them gave me a chance to actually interview with them, like nobody. Then luckily I involved in some extra activities. So Doughty, for example, once offered me a job to improve the cybersecurity bootcamp for Ironhack. I accepted it. I thought that was not good enough, but still, I accepted it. Like we made it, and that led towards the opportunity for me to get referred to TryHackMe. Because for the new bootcamp, for example, we partnered up with TryHackMe. I was involved with that. I had a contact for TryHackMe. And so at some point I asked this guy, hey, what is the chance I can work for TryHackMe eventually, you know? And he said, well, just send me the CV and I will forward that internally, you know? So it is both hard and easy to get referrals, okay? And for UNSCC, for the International Computer Center of the United Nations, the same thing. There were some openings that they told me like, hey, we are looking for people. Do you want to apply? I said, well, well, I'm not even gonna think about it. Like, of course I want to apply. I got through the first process. I interviewed with them. It went fine, and now I have the job. So from my personal experience, if it wouldn't be for internal referrals, I wouldn't have the job as of now, which is, it's pretty sad, to be honest, because I believe I could be like a great employee for many other companies besides the United Nations. But this company never gave me like a chance, never gave me like an opportunity to interview with them. And actually, I'm gonna get there very soon. So resources you can use for that is like LinkedIn. Not the biggest fan of that, but still, it is very important for networking, for giving yourself visibility, for exposing yourself to recruiters. So I suggest 100% to use LinkedIn. Then you can use like Glassdoor, for example, when it comes to research what a company does, like, I don't know, the atmosphere or their key values, what people that work for a certain company thinks about the company, for example. It's a good tool for that. Then recruiters, again, I had zero success with them. I contact a few of them. Like some of them actually said, yeah, like your CV looks good. I'm gonna forward that for a friend that is involved in cybersecurity. Never got an answer back. So I am not saying to not contact them. I'm actually saying do contact them, but that is my experience. CV preparation observation. So that is one of the key points of this whole webinar, in my opinion. I mentioned it like rising the use of AI and don't lie but. What does that mean? So from my experience, the rise in the use of AI for the hiring process is way more than last year, than 2 years ago, and in the previous years. What does that mean? That before we used to refer, okay, like if you pass the HR screening, then you get a chance to interview. Nowadays, especially when it comes to big companies, this first step is automated. So your CV gets through some AI algorithm, which evaluates, I don't know, the keyword, it puts some weights on the keywords. So I'm saying here, like, don't lie, but my honest advice to you is you should not lie, like never lie on a CV, never lie on a cover letter, never lie in an interview, but you should stretch some truths to a certain degree. I'm making an example. For example, like you played around with PowerShell. PowerShell is a shell for Windows. Like, not enough, in your opinion, to put that in the CV. I actually advise you to put that in the CV. You know, fill your CV with as many keywords as possible. Okay, just don't lie about them. Make sure you can back that up in an interview. For example, what did you do with PowerShell? Can you explain that to us? Yes, you know, I put together a malware. You know, I was playing with registry keys. You know, scheduling a task in the task scheduler of Windows. I don't know, creating some directory here and there, like backing up some folders. You can make it up the way you want, the way you prefer. Like, just, you can put that because you know what PowerShell is on the CV. Then before going to an interview, for example, just make sure you can back that up with some extra content, and you will be fine. Okay, they are not you are not required to be expert in anything for entry-level jobs, in nothing, okay? Not in PowerShell, not in malware analysis, not in coding, not in networking protocols. You know, you have to scratch the surface of all these concepts. So, okay, there is like another slide about that, so I will keep it for later. But yeah, I hope you got my point here. If you didn't get my point, if something is like you believe I didn't explain it well, please ask a question. We will go through that again in at the end of the webinar.
Maybe I'll add something.
Yes, please.
To the don't lie. What I always use is I have experience with. So the amount of experience is not mentioned, but that you have experience, for example, with PowerShell. When they ask about it, you can explain what you know about it, but also explain that you still have a lot to learn in PowerShell.
Yeah, and besides that, maybe show some passion. You know, I really like working with that. So that shows some extra motivation, extra passion, why you get into that tool in the first place. So there are many things you can say in an interview that makes the interview valuable for you. Okay, cool. Next. So skills and qualification valued by employers. So I put 4 points, 4 main points here, like hard skills, soft skills, certifications, and diverse experience. Hard skills is what you gain by doing things, you know, by basically learning some theory or practicing some concepts. I don't know whether it's like hacking or putting together like a home lab for yourself at home. Like this is classified as hard skills. Soft skills in the sense then, for example, problem solving, being a team player, communication, which for entry level, I still want to remark this, it is very important because you will be seen as as an investment. And yes, I know some of you might think, but look, the last 10 job offers I saw this week, in all of them, there were like, you need 3 years experience as a SOC analyst for an entry-level job. Yeah, we all saw them, you know, like you're very, very, very right. Like this job offer, in my opinion, should be close to, they shouldn't exist. Because for entry, okay, like maybe for like a junior position or just don't put junior at all. Just, I don't know, it's like it's really driving the industry backwards, in my opinion. So entry-level jobs should be focused at training people. So you should be seen as an investment. The company should know that it will take some time for you to fill the gap in your experiences between what you know and what you will know in order to get valuable at work. But yeah, this is not done, not done yet, and it's we shouldn't see that as an excuse to fight the industry, but we should use that as knowledge to search better and for jobs that we might be more interested into, let's say. Okay, then certification. Thanks God, Morena is here. She will speak about certification in a few minutes. And then diverse experience. I advise you to get involved with CTFs. That means capture the flags or hackathons or some little like bug bounty hacking, for example. It's full of resources online. You can start right now. There is nothing blocking you, preventing you from starting with this activity, like from one day to another. Okay. Yes, the transition might not be the smoothest, might not be easy, but that's a struggle we live every day. The moment you get a job, it doesn't get easier. You know, it only gets harder for the first period, and then eventually you want to specialize in something at work. So it keeps getting harder and harder. So we shouldn't be fearing challenges. All right, next. So key skills and certifications. Okay, I'm gonna speak about soft skills again a little bit. So, for example, at work at United Nations, it is very much appreciated the way I have to communicate things, for example. That is very unrelated to how good I am right now at work, okay? So that is something you can aim at in your free time, you can get better at. For example, like written and verbal communication, professionalism, being a teamwork, being a team player, problem solving, you can train that too. And also your research and commitment to learning, you know, like being proactive, okay? That don't stop at thinking you understood something, because it always gets deeper. Okay, so like a concept, cybersecurity concept, IT concept, they are sometimes pretty deep and hard to master. Easy to understand, but hard to master. There is like 1,000 questions you can always ask yourself. Did I get this right? Is there anything else I can explore this concept with? So next, soft skills and hard skills over hard skills. But why? As I said, like for entry level jobs, soft skills are mandatory. Like you are required to be like a fine human being. You are required to be like a nice teammate, like a nice colleague. Like this is required. Like hard skills, however, you know, how deeply how does it work, for example, TCP deeply? Like you're not required to know that. You know, you are required to know like what TCP is, for example, what HTTP is, HTTPS, like basic protocols, like, you know, mention the port, for example, but you are not required to get too deep over that. So that's why I'm saying like attitude over knowledge, like learning over knowing, discipline over laziness, and the list goes on. For example, like growth over comfort, persistence over giving up, etc., 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 etc. So make sure you get these right. Make sure you get better at these soft skills, and I'm pretty sure like sooner or later you will also break through the cybersecurity industry for an entry-level job. All right. Next, certification. Please, Marina. That's the moment I was waiting for.
Okay. About certification. First of all, I want to say something related to what you say, Stefano, that for me, if you can see some job that you're interested in and they asking like experience between 1 and 3 years, just send the curriculum. Why? Because maybe the company set the standard that they want someone that is experienced, but maybe they didn't find no one. And so you're the one that just send the curriculum and show them that you're interesting in it. And so send every time, send everything. I sent like 50 curriculum and well, got like 2 answers, something like this. So don't let you down, just follow. About certification, okay. My first recommendation is when you start, if you start the bootcamp or not, anyway, start right away with TryAcme or Hackebox. Why? Because you can show to your new employer, hopefully new employer, that you got hands-on, that it's really important. Okay, you're not really experienced like in a teamwork, but you got hands-on, so labs. About certification, I had the CompTIA Security Plus, and I really recommend, to do that before, if you can, meanwhile you're doing the bootcamp. I was part-time because I was studying, so it's not an excuse. You can study and you can study again and again and again. It's really important because all the company right now thinks that CompTIA Security Plus, it's very important. It's basically everything that you see in the bootcamp, but in depth. And you've got obviously an exam to do that it can be really stressful, but you can do it. It's easy if you study. Then you've got the Network Plus, if you obviously want to go to the network position, and the pen test if you want to do something related to the pen testing. I would say not go directly to what here in the slide you see like mid-level certification, because you're not going to understand anything. So start from the entry-level certification, and then maybe you can think to go to the mid-level and the high-level. One of my recommendations too is to do once of cloud, because cloud is demanding in every company, at least that you know what is it. So for example, I did the AZ900 for Microsoft. It's very easy. It's 65 euro, so it's affordable. And at least you can be certificated like I know cloud too. And that's important right now. That's all, Stefano.
Thank you. So yeah, my 2 cents again here. When and why you should get certified or thinking of getting certified. So first of all, it never hurts. Okay. But yes, it is a business though, so that means it costs money, it costs time to study for them. So I actually know people. A guy I met online. I met this guy online. It was while we were trying to hack something together for exercise, and he's 21 years old. He's studying computer science and he's collecting cybersecurity certification. Seriously, like he had network plus, pentest plus, security plus, so like one more from Compta, and then he was studying for certified ethical hacker, which is like the CEH. So and I was blown away, honestly. I was like man, like how do you do that? So like what is the drive between like behind these decisions? And eventually said like he found that cool, you know, like he was finishing to study like cyber computer science stuff, and he was just like jumping on cybersecurity, and he believed he knew enough to take the certification and the money to do so, so he was doing the certifications basically. So back to the point, what am I actually advising you here? Like if you have no IT experience, it is a good idea for you to try to get certified, okay? Because we are all trying to get past that HR screening, that AI screening. So having certifications on your CV will give you like a bonus, let's say, like an extra bonus for job opportunities in order to demonstrate like expertise, and and also in terms of passion, you know. So for example, like this guy I met online, I'm pretty sure like he might be lacking a lot of things in life, but he's not lacking passion for IT, for cybersecurity, and this is something that companies they value a lot, okay? Because let's say there is like a pool of candidates. There's you and 10 more. And they are looking at hiring somebody for an entry-level job. So it is you competing with people with like little experience, like little to no experience, some people with certifications, some people with experience but not certifications. So like your CVs are more or less all at the same level, I would say. But having like being flexible in the CV, for example, like putting a project in your CV, putting a certification in your CV, putting a bootcamp in your CV, putting you played around with, for example, like Python for 3 months, and you did like a small web application or like a small script that does something that you found could be valuable to you, to your daily tasks. It's cool, you know, like you're not wasting time doing any of this, and it will only get easier for you to get that opportunity to interview with companies, and it is actually, I want to remark it, it is all we are aiming at, okay? Getting the opportunity to interview with a human being. At that point, if you make it there, next slide is coming, and I will be speaking about it. But if you make it there, you are halfway through. Okay. Cool.
I just want to add,
Yes.
the entry-level certifications are mostly affordable by yourself, but a lot of companies also stimulate you to get those certificates after you've been hired, and they will most of the time pay for the exam because they want to invest in you. They want to
That's
show
true.
their customers we have people working here with these kind of certification. So our expertise level is on this level. So hire or take into account us as your provider for your services. And maybe a quick question for Morena and Stefano. So, are you busy getting a certificate right now? And which one? Because I am currently busy with the EC Council Digital Forensic Essential.
Ooh,
I'm doing
honestly,
the SC 200 for
SC200 from Microsoft. Yeah,
Microsoft. Yeah.
yeah. If I think I also want to get that. So my idea behind that, I got my first job without certifications. So at the moment I have none. I always hoped that my background in IT and in software engineering would make up for the lack of Security Plus on my CV. Hopefully I made it. So, well, not made it because it's a starting point having a job, but I got a job and I'm happy that it worked out for me. But at the moment, yes, actually, I'm trying to see how I can navigate through the, for example, United Nations uh, cybersecurity teams by getting some certifications there. You know, so what kind of certification would, for example, enable me getting in a certain team at United Nations? So that is my idea behind doing certain certification rather than others. So like I don't know.
Rui
Most,
asked a question, Stefano,
yeah.
in the chat. Did you
Okay.
see it?
Nope. So for entry-level certification, I think CompTIA is a good place to start. Security Plus, even though Security Plus is a bit generic, but like Security Plus, Network Plus, Pentest Plus, there is many others with this plus, and that's entry-level certifications. So, for example, you can do Security Plus. If you still have like budget and time, you can go for something more specialized, for example, like Network Plus or Pentest Plus. So both Security and Network Plus, if you put that in your CV, it's just like a big plus. It's gonna be like a big plus in your CV, okay? Because networking is very important for cybersecurity. Security Plus aims at a little bit of many topics. Pentest Plus focuses more on pen testing. Then there's also Linux Plus, for example. If you like Linux systems, you can specialize in that. But okay, for the people without an IT background, yeah, well, only cyber. If you have no IT background and all you are aiming to do is like Combat Security Plus without putting in the extra work, for example, engaging in extra activities, I wouldn't say that's enough. But if you do everything that, for example, is needed to get a job, you know, like if you stick with passion to cybersecurity, if you keep educating yourself and then you put that Security Plus, I believe it fills a big gap in your IT background. Okay.
And you can only you can to looking for the job that you really want for the company, and now the company, everyone puts the certification that they would like to have for these employees. So you can reverse research to understand what is better for you, depending of the path that you want to do in cybersecurity.
I recently went to a hacker event. The company name was ON2IT. They highly advise I do the CCNA first as I plan on kickstarting my career in cybersecurity at the SOC Tier 1. So, I don't know. Actually, I don't know this cybersecurity this certification. Can you Google it up, Morena, please? CCNA.
Yes, CCNA, I think that it's the one from Cisco.
Francisco.
Yeah. Without.
Well, if it's from Cisco, it's good because Cisco is actually a pioneer in networking. Networking, as I said before, it's very important for cybersecurity, and they have really great insights. They are a really good company. So I'm not an expert with this certification at all, but if some people at a hacker event said it could be beneficial for you to get a tier 1 job in SOC, that might be true.
I think that it's more related to only network, but well, yes, it could be obviously very great because it's quite great.
Also be careful with brand specific certificates, because if you apply to a company that doesn't use a Cisco network or has customers that doesn't use Cisco networking, then your certificate has less value, in my opinion.
Yeah, might be less valid. That's true. So that's why actually CompTIA is a good place to start, because they are worldwide recognized by any employer, basically by any good company. Here you can see there is a link. I will post that. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. All right, cool. interview process.
And
So
I have
why
one more question about the certification, because do you all have certification, the panelists here, like, and to what
I
degree?
don't,
No, you don't.
I have 0 certifications.
Okay,
I
and
started study for Security Plus, and then I got involved with some jobs I got offered, well, like part-time jobs, and I prefer to go that way.
okay. And Niels, you?
I also currently don't have any certification, but I am busy with the brand specific for the supplier for our SIEM solution. It has a brand specific certification process for analyst, and I'm busy with the digital forensic essentials.
Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem, no problem. That's why we are here. So, why preparing is important? As I said, you cannot afford to waste that chance. So, like all the work you put in before applying for jobs, it is actually to land that first opportunity to interview with a team. So, for example, with your future colleagues, with your future boss or the person you will report to, you cannot afford, seriously, you cannot afford to waste this chance. Like if you get it there, you are halfway through. Think about it. It is a struggles I personally faced. That was the biggest barrier. Like for me, at some point, it seemed impossible to get that one opportunity finally. And the only 2 chances I had to actually get to talk about cybersecurity in an interview with my interviewers, I did well. Like it turns out, so for example, I interviewed for TryHackMe, didn't get the job, but it was 3 stages, and I made it through the last step. And if at any step is not good enough, you're out. Okay, so like I actually made it to the very last step, and then they choose for someone who actually had more experience than me. Fine, very positive outcome. Okay, but it is sad, in my opinion, that I didn't get more opportunities with companies. That's why I want to remark with you that is, you cannot afford to waste that chance. Seriously, like just prepare for it. I can share, for example, the way I prepared myself. So yeah, also, like the more chances you get, the more confident you get. So it helps with building confidence. Highlighting your soft skills is a good way to do that in an interview. So in my opinion, for how I am as a person, when it comes to actually meeting a human being, I have better chances, than doing like a technical assignment, or than speaking with some AI robot for in a video interview. And this is happening, actually. This is happening. Like I know for a fact, people are doing like a 30 minutes video call, not anymore with HR, but with AI. So basically, is AI asking you a question and you have to answer to AI, and then AI will evaluate how good was your interview. Again, pretty sad, but it is the way it is. Tips on how to prepare. So review and analyze the job offer. All right. So if you have enough time to prepare, you can research like companies' values, for example. It's good when companies hear about a little bit of, okay, like he knows what we are doing, he knows what our values are. You don't have to research like that for a week. Just like 1 hour, putting that in your notes and review it before the interview, it's enough. But and it helps because you might be asked a question like, do you know what United Nations does? And you are like, uh well, I heard like something in television about Bruxelles. No, it's you were kind of supposed to research a little bit what the International Computer Center did or does, what their values are, etc. So research common questions as well. My personal approach was some TryHackMe, for example, for a SOC job. So for a job in SOC, I reviewed the SOC analyst path 1, I think, and I was taking notes on a Google Doc, for example, everything I thought was important, diamond model, cyber keychain, and whatnot. I took notes of that. I'm pretty sure I have these notes already, but I put together like an extra document with everything I believe could help me doing great during the interview. Then I research on Google or ChatGPT. You can use as well, like common 100 question for SOC level 1 job. Okay, you triage that, because it's funny, because your job as a SOC analyst will also be about triaging, you know, like taking information from different sources, comparing them, like analyze them and find the root cause to a security incident. So you can do that with question, you know, so search in Google, open 3-4 links, search, like try to have a conversation with ChatGPT about it, put together like 100 questions that for you are important for the job you will do. And when you think you're done with that, start review your document you put together every day, 10 minutes a day. You know, when you get bored, open that Google Docs app and start reviewing the questions over and over and over and over. Morena's laughing because I'm pretty much a freak about Google Docs. I have a document for everything. But yeah, well, for the greater good, I guess. So it helped me. So then what you can do is like practicing answering questions with a friend, with a with an ex-colleague, with, I don't know, whoever you have some confidence with, or even not too much confidence with. For example, my advice is keep it simple. They ask you, what is SSH? You can simply say like, it's secure shell, you know, it works on port 22, and that's it. You know, if they want to hear more about it, they will ask you, can you elaborate a little bit? Like, is it using a Windows system, like Linux system? Like, can you explain us, please? You know, they will guide you towards what they want to hear, okay? But don't start like, oh yes, I know it. It's like, it's on port like 21, I think. No, sorry, 22. Like just this format of answering questions. You can practice that, because yes, there is a stress factor involved. There are many other factors involved, but you can practice this. That's why I'm saying, like, mention keywords, you know, secure shell, port 22. You said like 5 words and 4 keywords. It's a pretty good answer, in my opinion, for an entry-level job. Okay. So, all right, now it's lagging again. Wait a second, sorry guys. Okay. So, the role of the Ironhack Bootcamp for me was basically everything. Similarly to Niels, I took also this decision during the COVID times. Okay, I said like, I'm bored with coding. I can't do that anymore. I wrote a lot of code so far, and basically as a senior software engineer whatsoever, you end up basically taking care of the junior software developers, you know, like pull like code reviews, pull requests, and just make sure they didn't do too much of a bad job, you know. And I didn't find that exciting, so I tried to identify what was next for me, and I identified cybersecurity as next. So I took the cybersecurity bootcamp at Ironhack. Super happy about that. I'm not here solely to promote it, but I'm actually very, very happy about it. Had the opportunity to meet my teacher, Daute, and without him, nothing else would have been possible. Yes, probably I did great as well. I did great during the bootcamp. I did great during the project during bootcamp, for example. I always show like an extra passion I have towards IT and cybersecurity, which probably helped me build my relationship with my instructor, which is Daute. But besides that, yes, I still have to remark this, like without the starting point of taking the bootcamp, I don't think I would have ended up working for Ironhack, teaching at Ironhack, like leading this webinar from time to time, interviewing at TryHackMe, interviewing at United Nations, and getting a job at United Nations. I don't see how all of this would have been possible without me taking the cybersecurity bootcamp. Now, there are some direct and indirect, there is some direct impact and indirect impact. So direct impact is like the material you are exposed during the bootcamp. It is very valid material. You will get the chance to work on it, to consult your instructor. It will be there for you. You will have the chance also to network with like-minded people, for example, Molera, Niels, and I have many more examples. So that will lead you towards gaining the hard skills you need to get your first job in cybersecurity. Then as well, cultivating relationship for referrals. As I said in my case, it is up to you. Like basically, a bootcamp gives you like the playground so the right settings, the right fundamentals for this, then it's up to you. I saw people completing the bootcamp thinking that the bootcamp would help them get in a job. They didn't put in like an extra minute of dedication. Like they don't have a job now. It's that clear, that simple. Okay, so you should really focus what your goal is, whether is it to work in cybersecurity as a software engineer or what else, and think that it's a very competitive market. It's a hard market. It's not an impossible market. That's why it's still accessible for everybody with prior or not prior IT experience. But yes, it is tough, and it is up to you to find the time to put it, the time and dedication to put in the extra activities you need to ace a job. So yes, hosting webinars, as I said, nothing of this would have been possible without Ironhack. Indirect impact. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. It's a pretty expensive bootcamp, and I didn't pay for it. Why? Because I was unemployed in Germany, and the German government pays for that. Okay, they support with people that want to get some certification, some further education in, for example, in cybersecurity in my case. But nonetheless, I didn't pay 1 cent for the bootcamp, and I applied 3 times as much as the average person. I was fully dedicated to the cybersecurity boot. I took it super seriously. So I structured my learning. I enhanced my discipline. I was living, breathing, and sleeping cybersecurity. That is why I believe it was possible for me to do well after the bootcamp as well. You know, being contacted by Ironhack, wanted them to, like, having them wanting to work for them, etc. So also, yes, I have the opportunity to address an audience from time to time. Like this week, for example, I'm the substitute teacher for Daute. So I get to teach like a week of the cybersecurity bootcamp at Ironhack. I get a chance to do these webinars, and believe me, nothing of this it's easy for me. You seem like, okay, but you can speak. No, it's very hard for me to do this. Like 1 year ago, I was rejecting any offer of this kind. Like I got to teach 40 hours of the new cybersecurity bootcamp that went live last year, which I helped. I collaborated in making better. And so they said, okay, since you collaborated on that for 2.5 months, actually you saw you are aware of like the 100% of the bootcamp. Why don't you teach it? I rejected the offer like 4 times before accepting it, and I rejected it because I feared speaking to people. To be honest, I love like being behind the monitor with my headphones on, not having to think about speaking with people, how the way I'm perceived. I was basically fearing this aspect of exposing myself, addressing myself to an audience. That's why I'm suggesting you, like, just get out of that comfort zone. You know, like I actually appreciate now I'm in this position. I can, for example, lead a webinar, tell you guys something that I believe it's important, something that maybe you didn't know. Like go to my ex-teacher class from time to time, help the student with a project, help the student to prepare them for job interviews. It is some activity I really like to do, and it is some activity it was not easy for me to do, and I worked hard towards trying to expose myself more and more to the point I'm somewhat confident. Still, I'm not that confident as maybe some of you might think. It's always challenging, but our life and our job especially, it's based on challenges. We have to face this challenging and try to fill the gap between what we think is challenging or not. Okay, cool. So question and takeaways. We are getting towards, we're still 5 minutes. If somebody can stay a little longer, I don't know if we can do that. I'm down to stay a little longer.
Yeah, we can just go over the questions
Yeah,
with
okay,
on
okay.
the chat and everything else, you know. So yeah, let's see how far we can get.
Okay, so I don't know, Niels or Morena, do you wanna help me answer these questions? Like, for example,
Sure.
what were the most challenging aspects for you in your job search?
the answer that someone answer me was the most challenging aspect.
Like rejections, I guess.
Rejection, exactly. Rejection or ghosting, that I don't know which one is most awful, but I have to say that I put that in a positive way. If I got a rejection, okay, it's just something more. I have to send more curriculum. And very important that we didn't talk about it, but the career advisor in Ironhack are amazing, helping you to doing the curriculum. It was really, really helpful for me. I was working with Valentina Salcedo, and she was really helpful in this point too, in which I was like so stressful. Oh my God. So yeah, the anxiety and the nervous are the most challenging aspect for me.
Cool. Yeah, for me too. I mean, it's like my biggest challenge was getting the chance to interview with a company, actually. Like getting past that barrier was so like I never saw it coming, honestly, at some point.
Please
So
let me speak.
so what skills did you focus on developing to break into cybersecurity? Again, good question, but still, try to refine your soft skills first, okay? Try to make sure you are a good person, a person they want to hire, regardless your hard skills. Because when you actually join a working environment, you will level up with your colleagues in a short amount of time. For example, like there is like 3 months onboarding and 3 months more. So considering like give it like a 6-month time, you will be valuable for the company. Starting from a point in which the first day you didn't know where to look at. Okay, you started in SOC, for example, as a security analyst. The first day for me, I didn't know what to do. Seriously, I was like, I was clueless about any next step I should have taken. And now, like few weeks in, I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm doing great already, you know? Like I'm far from where I want to be, but still, things develop pretty quickly. So that's why I'm saying, yes, focus on practicing, but personally, nothing I focused on really helped me getting the job 100%. Okay, so that is my advice. So what was your experience like during the cybersecurity job interviews? Good, to be honest. So I was blessed and glad I was there finally. Like I enjoyed them, and I approached them with in a friendly way with my interviewers, like not in like, okay, they are interviewing me. I really need to make a good impression. But no, just try to go in as you are. You know, try to make a good impression about the person you are. So that plays a big role. So what was your experience like? No, okay, I just said it. What advice would you give to someone looking to break into cybersecurity today? Wow, a piece of advice: stick to it, stick with it, and just like focus what your goal is and what do you need to do in order to make it. Okay,
Be curious.
be curious, like absolutely, without curiosity, and be fearless. You know, you see like you see the terminal in your computer, you think like I don't know how to use it. Like you think you don't know how to use it because the instructions are everywhere. You know, like you can educate yourself how to use a terminal any day you want. So it's just about starting, like breaking that fear you have towards learning something new. So what's something? Oh no, I don't want to answer this question. Morena?
What's something you wish you knew before starting your job search? How to do a curriculum? It will be really good.
Ah, yeah, good point.
That's really good. What else? I don't know, but I'm with Stefano, in which you have to be honest. And even in the job interview, ask questions. Like if not familiar with something that they're asking, ask. Like something that you're interested in, understand what is it. And so you be humble, be honest, be curious, and passionate. For me, are the things that in the job search, if they let you speak, you can.
If they let you speak, yeah.
If they let you give an interview. But even in this case, be positive, never surrender, go go for it.
Yeah, all right, general takeaways. Like have a growth mindset, very important. Be consistent and don't be afraid. Very important to keep learning and practicing. Never stop doing that. Enjoy the process. It's also extremely important. Like there is no way you're gonna stick with IT, with cybersecurity if you're not passionate, if you don't enjoy the process. Okay, if you are doing it for the money, I don't know, you might be in for a disappointment. And last but not least, connect with Ironhack. Here there are some links. So I'm gonna share them in chat right now. So it's
Niels, you've got a question from Elisio Cairo. Did you see in the chat?
so all right. So I just posted the links, guys. Take a look at them.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Beware that when this session is over, you will lose the chat messages. So just beware to bookmark them now or just to copy them somewhere. Yes, stay connected with the panelists, by the way. Like we are here for you now, but I'm pretty sure Niels and Morena will be happy as well as I am to hear from you on LinkedIn, for example.
Totally.
Like if you are too shy to ask a question now, I get it. I was that kind of person before. So like you can reach out to us on LinkedIn. We will try to address your questions, and we will gladly do that.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, there was one direct question to Niels in terms of the Dutch job market in cybersecurity. Is there any type of advice you have for that, Niels?
Yeah, there are two kind of recruiters. One that overpromises things and one that is realistic. I fortunately met a realistic one that helped me search for my job. As far as a job agency, Randstad, or a type of what's it called, that you're learning and working together and get fully paid, those kind of deals are mostly too good to be true, because you're stuck
The
in
traineeships.
sorry
Traineeships, right?
traineeships. Yeah. Those kind of traineeships are promise you to be paid, but you're stuck in one role for a SOC analyst, nothing else. You only do alerts, only do it's not fun, not a fun type of work, and you're stuck with the same salary for plus 2 years. There's no way to grow. Can be a way to enter the job market, because you are getting experience, but you have to take a hit for the type of work you'll be doing, and B, it's not the best paid.
No. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can copy the links, but you can definitely open them, right? So my suggestion is just to open them and then try to save them on your computer. I'll just leave it.
Actually, Miguel asked, how can you train yourself for interviews? My best advice is with friends, with somebody who knows about the topic a little bit. At Ironhack, for example, we are doing a great job towards, for example, in the part-time bootcamp, which lasts 6 months. Over the last month and a half, 2 months, we are really stressing students. We are training them. I'm actually joining regularly classes, even I'm not paid for it. I do it for passion, and we make sure that people that are coming up with a job interview, they are prepared for that. Besides that, again, keywords. Just practice. Have in mind the answer you would give to a certain question. For example, like what is base64? It's an encoding algorithm. It's very short and it has keywords in there. They wanna hear encoding and they wanna hear algorithm, and they maybe wanna hear like one-way function or two-way function, or like, if they want you to go deeper in what base64 is, for example, they will ask you. You are not required to explain how the algorithm works. So just train on the keywords that to get through to the next question with a positive, in a positive way, with a positive feedback from them.
Yeah, we are over time. Maybe people are hungry and want to get to dinner. So I do want to thank all our panelists today. Thank you so much, Alumni, Stefano, Morena, Niels, for joining us today. Super insightful information. Hopefully people learned from it. And we will also be sharing the recording after this session. So if you want to watch it back, you can always can if you want. Okay, well, thanks everyone. Yeah, please stay connected with people also on LinkedIn. We share the links in the chat. And if you have any questions about the bootcamp, just let us know. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
very much,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.